I am going to talk about 8 reasons why your content is failing and what to do about it. Is your content failing? Okay, no big deal. We're going to go over 8 reasons why your content is failing, and then 8 reasons what you can do to make it so that it's not failing. So, if I don't know you already, I'm Rebecca Kramer, and I am excited to go over this information with you today. If you are watching on a replay, hashtag replay. If you're watching live, hashtag live. Okay, so 8 reasons why your content is failing. Number 1. First of all, before I get started, we talked on Monday, I talked about whether you should delete a post or not delete a post. So if your content is failing, make sure that you head back to Mondays and you'll be able to watch that. So not yet though. First things first, let's go over these reasons. So number 1. So if you're on social media and you don't have a profile picture or a cover image, now this can speak to your business page, your group, your profile. If you don't have a complete profile and cover image, people are not going to know who you are. They're not going to know what you're about. They're not going to understand that they should even pay attention. So definitely make sure, well, I'm going to talk to you about how to fix these things after. So number 2, not allowing people to connect with you, or if you keep your settings private. So on each of the different social platforms, you can make your profile open for everybody to see, or you can keep your profile private. So you can certainly make changes to that. But if you have a private profile, or you're not open for connections or followers, there's no way for people to continue to engage in your content or even see it in the first place. So number 3, not including a link to your website. Maybe you don't have a website, maybe you just have a landing page, no big deal. So if you're not including a link to your website or landing page, basically that person has no way to actually discover more about you other than what you have on your social media. They have no way that they could learn more about you. It's like a storefront, right? And then usually a website or a landing page would also allow them to be able to contact you or learn more about you. So that is number 3. Number 4, if you have an inconsistent message, or you're posting inconsistently. So now what does this mean? So if you are posting, let's just say if you have 10 posts and you post them all in 3 days, and then you don't post for another 20 days, that would be inconsistent. If you have 10 posts, post every 3 days, right? It's more important to be consistent. So inconsistent posting. And then when it comes to speaking to your audience about what they came here to learn about, exactly what they follow you for, what they're interested in about you, if you change that consistently, like, it's okay to have multiple topics that you talk about, but if you're changing it altogether, it becomes difficult for them to follow, and maybe they're not even interested in what that other topic is. I had one of my clients was talking to me, and she actually came up with the idea before talking to me about it, that she would focus on relationships. So maybe for 3 months she would focus on, or even every month she would focus on family, and then like spouse relationships, and then dating. Well, if you're changing the message and what you're talking about that consistently, you're going to have to build a brand new audience every single time. Because if you don't have a family, well, maybe you wouldn't be interested in the next one. Or if you have a family, or if you're married, you probably wouldn't be interested in the dating advice, right? So making sure that you have the same consistent topics and message so that people know what they can expect when they come to watch your stuff or to look at your stuff. And then, so number 5, being too broad. So if you are talking about general things and not being specific about who you can help, for example. So for me, I teach service-based entrepreneurs and coaches. That's who I talk to. And so with the language that I'm using, I want to make sure that I'm actually communicating a specific message to the people who I can help. It's okay if other people are there, but it's important that you are actually not being broad, that you are committing to what you're talking about. Number 6, posting when nobody's there. If you're posting when nobody's active at 1 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, when everybody's sleeping, I mean, maybe that's when your audience is awake, but if you're posting at that time when nobody is paying attention, the post just won't go as far as it will go as if it's happening if you post it when people are active. Number 7, I had to check. Number 7, if you're sharing, so all these social platforms, we're seeing with our eyes, we're hearing with our ears. So if you are posting images that are, for example, stocky, like stock photos, I don't really want to look at your stock photos. I want to look at authentic, real photos. I want to also, if it's video content, audio is important too. So being able to, if you're sharing an image, making sure that it's not stocky, and then, or blurry. And then here's the thing with videos. People will maybe watch a video that is blurry or doesn't look good, ugly, whatever. But people will turn off poor audio. People will turn it off. So what's the most important thing with video? Definitely audio for sure. And then finally, not including a call to action. Now, a call to action doesn't necessarily mean buy from me right now. A call to action can mean different things. But if your stuff isn't performing, maybe it's because people aren't taking action. So making sure that you have that call to action. All 8 of them. That's a lot, right? Can you imagine if you just had like a checklist every time you posted of these 8 things and yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is good. So if you're just joining, if you didn't hear them all, it's okay. You can watch the replay. And now I'm going to go over what you can actually do instead. So 8 reasons your content is failing, and here's what you can do instead. So for number 1, you're having a profile or a cover image that doesn't actually say what you do can impact everything that's happening on your account. So if you share a cover image that says what you do, who you are, why people should connect with you. If you don't know what you should do for a cover image, feel free to check out my profiles, not on Instagram because there's no cover image, but on Facebook, on LinkedIn. You need to have a cover image. You need to have a profile image. Number 2, if you have a private profile or your settings are not set to be open, like what you're saying is, I I don't really care about doing business on social media. That's basically what you're saying. So you would need to go into your settings. So on the different social platforms, there are different places that you can update and edit this information. Even, even on LinkedIn, like let people see that you're looking at them. Open it up to everyone. Because what happens when you are able to be open to everyone and you're speaking the right message, that people that you might not have known would be interested in you, have the ability to connect with you, right? So number three was, if you're not including a link or a landing page, people don't have a way to connect with you. So if you don't have a way, if you don't have a website, if you don't have a landing page, if you can't or you're not sure how to do it, there are some different even email platforms that you can use that make things easy. So Flowdesk is a great, easy, beginner's email platform to be able to have a landing page. Even if you don't have a URL, you can still have a landing page, and then you can have your emails. There's ClickFunnels, but if you're just getting started, you could also just, or you're not technical and you want something now, because taking action is the most important thing. So on Evernote, you can actually share an Evernote, and it will have, you can insert images, you can put your email address there. So that's a great way to be able to fix that problem. If you're not posting consistently, what's the solution? Post more consistently. Post more consistently. Talk about the same things. It's okay that things happen in your life. Maybe that's one of your topics. When I talk to my clients, we go over the different topic buckets and things that you can talk about, because you don't want to talk about the same exact thing all the time. So figuring out your topic buckets, and we talk about this in my Get Clients Online program all the time. So figuring out what your topic buckets are and making sure that you are talking on a regular basis and about the same things. Number 5. I know that you can help everyone, but if your message is too broad, what's going to happen? People are just not even going to pay attention. So if you think about this, if you're at a busy mall, and someone is like, hey you. I mean, there's a lot of people here. Is that message for me? No. It could be. Maybe I'll look, but if someone is shouting across the mall, hey Robert, are you more likely to pay attention? Probably. So if you actually speak to your audience, even to the extent that it's okay for you to talk about who you don't serve, it's okay for you to talk about that, because what will happen when you talk about the people that you serve, and you even talk about repelling the people that you don't, that you'll start to get the right audience. And once you start to get the right audience, magic happens. Amazing things happen, because then you have all the people that could potentially be your perfect clients. And I'm not saying you have to niche. You don't have to say, hey, Robert. What you could do instead is you could use specific words that Robert could relate to. So for example, if you sell to realtors, maybe you're going to talk about listings. If you sell If you sell to if you sell to parents, you're going to talk about kids. If you sell to whomever, maybe you're going to talk about clients or deals. Speak their language and they'll be more likely to pay attention. Number six, if you're not sure when to post, so if you're posting when no one's around, that could absolutely be one of the reasons that your content's not performing. You should check your analytics. So each of the social platforms will have their own like insights or analytics, or basically a spot where you could find out the information as to when your audience is online. That's when you should be posting. Number 7. Now this is the one about stock photos, blurry images, bad sound. Always make sure that you are taking pictures or video in front of light. Make sure that there's good lighting. If you don't have ring lights or extra lights, you can stand in front of a window. Doing this. Stand in front of a window. Right? And don't forget, people will turn off bad audio. Legit. They'll just like turn it off. And finally, your call to action. So your call to action doesn't have to be buy from me, buy from me. Your call to action can simply be, tell me your feedback below, or what do you think, or basically an invitation to take action, right? Doesn't always have to be buy from me. So 8 reasons that your content fails, and 8 things that you could do instead. Oh, by the way, call to action right at the end. I would love to invite you to join my free Facebook group, which is Social Selling Growth Hustlers, so that you could learn more about how you could use social selling to grow your business online. I will see you the next time. Bye.